Smoker gets a good jump, but I think a few of the BMWs have gone down the way, and that's Ponset making his way up in the P2 and maybe up in the P1 as he's trying. Endurance type, the responsibilities of the league owner is real, but what's real is this battle. It's like something we're gonna crash into the corner. The lap, hopefully he doesn't lose any power here on the up end. As he's out of power, he's completely out. Oh yeah, but he's getting the acceleration out of the final line.
Corner here.
And he gets it. He gets pulled. Oh my goodness, I was not expecting that at all.
Good morning to the viewers, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in the world. It's morning for me, so I'm saying good morning. Welcome back to LSR LMU Challenge, round 6 in Monza, Autodrome de Nazionale Monza. I don't know how to say that, but as we're getting into the tail end of qualifying for the LMGT3s right now, about a minute left to go. Looks like we got Alves and Berkvis 1 and 2 right now, with Smoka trailing at the 3rd position. We have Pavel Trubenkov, James Mason, Ogazer Soy, Lataro Horodeski. That's way too hard. Paul Satsbury, Dennis Boyko, boat enjoyer. Is he driving a Bentley? No, he's driving a Lexus. How can you say you like boats if you don't drive a Bentley? Shakiryanov, Garrison, Stickley, Kotsaris, and Schaefer going from 1 down to P15 right now for qualifying. Looks like Alves, one of our faster drivers, getting P1, but Berkvis super close behind. Let's see if he's going to try to make a move into turn 1. Heroics into turn 1, as we like to say. Smoka rounding out that top 3. Smoka a little bit behind from the top runners, about 2/10. Then we got Trubenkov, Mason, Ursula, 4 to 6. As we're going to look into the qualifying for the hypercars now. I'm going to go ahead and switch that over. As we're going to see what happens with that. We got Antonio Mendoza, of course, in that Aston Martin. Jose Flores is Peugeot. Victor Zielinski in the... I forgot, that's the Glick. Yeah, there we go. Finn Fayers, a new driver I haven't seen, unless I missed this person in the 2.4 hours of Le Mans. Nico Perez, Jacob Tucky, Stefan Iske, Nicholas Southavon returning back, Alex Drury, Stefan Richardson, Jay Richardson. Oh, related? I gotta have to check that out. We got Will Best, Thomas Dickens, Bradley Kennedy, and of course Kyle Lulling in that Toyota. As we're going to see who is up front first. I believe it's going to be Mendoza. Let us actually go on the in-lap of Jose Flores. I believe he's the one out first. Jose Flores, one of the faster drivers around here. Didn't get too much luck in round 4 before Le Mans. Actually, no, he won that. It was another track day he got bad luck. I think it was definitely Portimao when he got taken out. But we're going the final corner of Italy. Monza, I mean. Into the back straight, going to get a good tow. That car behind is going to get a good tow from him. Into turn 1. Now qualifying here, a little bit special. You can run a train and just kind of slingshot past each other, just like what they do in F1. Which could be helpful. So this Peugeot that's driving on the back end, I believe that is Finn Fayers, could get a faster lap time than Jose Flores. We're just going to have to wait and see. Looks like he's gaining on him a little bit, touching a little bit of dirt for Jose Flores. Right to the line with that, nearly touching it. Fayard's looking like he just got back, way back, letting Victor Zelensky a little bit closer. See a little bit aside. Zelensky with the purple first sector, but Flores with with the purple middle sector. Let me see where this ends up. Mendoza actually with a second, with the purple middle sector. We'll see how that ends up. It seems like Mendoza's the first one on the track. No, it's Flores. I was wrong. So there we go. We got Jose Flores with 39.84 and Victor Zelensky with a 39.5. That changes quickly because Antonio Mendoza goes 39.1, 4/10 clear of Victor Zelensky, and then Jury with 38.5, going 6/10 faster than Mendoza. Insane from Alex Jury in that Genesis. Switching cars a little bit. From Alex Jury. Stuff on Itzke with a 40.4. Soothwong now with a 38.6. Seems like the Genesis is really fast on the straights. We're going to see what else has happened as those are going down to a 39.1, going up in the leaderboards, if you will. Currently third place behind the two Genesis of Jury and Soothwong. We're going to see where our other runners figure out. Let's see who hasn't set a lap time. It is Thomas Dickin in the Porsche, but not that kind of Porsche. The 956 Porsche Penske number 6. There's a lot of sixes in there, but we're going to see where he's going to end up. I believe this is his quali lap, or this is his first quali lap. We're going to see what happens over here with Thomas Dickin. With Thomas Dickin, one of the better drivers out here in the series. Let's see what happens as he goes into that long right-hander. Stamp out the throttle on exit. He's going to have some traffic. Ooh, that's a little bit too close. Maybe some people call it impeding traffic, but we're going to have to look at that later. As it goes P9 with a 41.7. We'll get on the onboard for Stephen Richardson. See, Mystic Racing UK, I believe teammates with the other Richardson. We're going to see where he ends up with that 999 car as it goes up into P8 with a 40.1. Very good on, I believe, going to be his first race, if I'm not mistaken. Alex Drury just keeping that gap in front of everyone else. 7/10 ahead of P2, Nico Sotovan. Bradley Kennedy going P3, outshining Jose Flores and Antonio Mendoza. Excuse me, I kind of had a brain fart right there. Speaking of which, Jose Flores going P3, but then quickly gets overtaken by Victor Zelensky in P2. Separated by 2/10 at least, with a 37.8 and a 38 flat, respectively. Victor Zelensky showing a real good qualifying right here. As we're talking about Antonio Mendoza going to 37.7, 3/10 away from Alex Drury, but still Alex Drury on top. Could be a good qualifying here. Could be a good race if we're going to see all of these top runners so close. I mean, P1 to P5 separated by a second, if you will. Precisely 7/10. With Alex Drury Mendoza, Victor Zelensky, Sutherland, and Flores. Right now, your top 5. We're going to look on board with Zelensky. Let's see what else he can do with that quick announcement. Getting that little bit of tow from the Peugeot of Flores. Let's see how that happens. Go into the back straight. Very, very long. Gotta watch out for your braking because it can make or break this corner right here because it's super long and it's like it like opens up, so it's just like, okay, when do I full throttle out of here? That's one thing about Monza. As it goes P1, 37.2. Jesus, my lord, what has Victor Zelensky eaten today? Because I'm gonna try to eat the same thing as him. Alex Drury P2 now, a tenth away from Victor Zelensky in provisional pole. Antonio Mendoza, another tenth away from Victor Zelensky. Antonio Mendoza looks like he's gonna go out for another lap. We're gonna see who else is running. Doesn't look like anyone's improving on my scorebook. Finn Fayerts still hasn't set a time on the out lap. Look at Bradley Kennedy as he's round the final corner in that Ferrari. Up to the line. Let's see where he ends up. Doesn't look like he changed position that much. We're gonna look at Jose Flores now as he's finagling with the penultimate corner into the back straight. No toe right here. We're gonna see what happens with Jose Flores. Not sure if the Peugeot has the best top end speed, especially for this track. We're going to see what happens as he wrangles the final corner right here. Full throttle. Use all the energy that you can. Comes up to the line. 5th. 37.6 at the moment. Very close between P3 and P5. Which is Antonio Mendoza, Sutherland, and Flores. Zelensky still keeping that P1 position up on top. We're going to see what happens with that. If that changes on to the last minute, last second, if you will. We got 4 minutes left in the session. About minute 30 lap time. Minute 40 is going to give you 2 more laps. About so. 2 to 3. Right here, Stephen Richardson. Mystic Racing UK. I never heard that. Is that a new team? As he goes to P10 with a 39.1. Times are slowly dropping for everyone out here. Maybe the track is getting all rubbered up. As let's look at another driver. Let's look at Thomas Dickens starting that lap in that Porsche. Again, that's not a believe. Oh, if someone goes off in the background, I believe that is Kyle Welling out in the background, just getting a little bit too wide open on that throttle on the exit. But we're gonna have to go back to Thomas Dickens right now with a 32 sector 1, 32 flat sector 1. And we're gonna see if he's gonna improve. He's about 2 tenths away from Bradley Kennedy in P6 and a second away from pole. We're gonna see if he can clutch it out. Clutch or kick, as we like to say. Up into the back straight with Thomas Dickens into that final corner. Let's see what happens over here. Let's see what lap time he's going to do. come on, waiting. P5 with 37.5. Good on you, Thomas Dickens. Number 6 goes into number 5. Position 5, if you will. For the meantime, we're going to see if any other driver is trying to improve. Jose Flores is looking to improve, but no, getting into the sand trap right there, just calling it. Not sure if he's going to go back out there. Let's see who else is on a lap. Stefan Itzke in that Cadillac, currently in P8 with a 38.3. As he loses it, hits the wall real hard. Jeez, that's going to ruin his qualifying lap. Not sure if he'll have the time to come out. I don't know. You want to continue with a broken car, man. I would have just sent it back to pits and then doing that lap, and hopefully that's your fastest. Or how do you say it? Doing that lap and then doing the qualifying lap, because I believe you would have had enough time right there. But not sure his strategy. We're going to see as he cuts grass again. He's probably going to park it. I doubt at this moment he has the time to get out there and qualify, do one more qualifying lap. As we're looking at Victor Zelensky, right now still P1. Looks like everyone's slowing down with yellow sector times. I'm going to see what happened with Zelensky as he's going on another outlap. As Jury pips Zelensky with a 37 flat. Jesus. Jury, what has gotten into you today? Now, this is a good qualifying because we don't really see these two drivers up in front. Well, up in front is like too much. But usually we're going to see Mendoza, Flores. If he was back, we would have seen that one French driver, I forgot his name, that ran the Alpine. But no, this time we got Alex Jury and Victor Zelensky. P1, P2 in Monza. Zelensky now improving on his lap time with a 37.2 right now. You see if Jury can defend against Mendoza, Zelensky, Flores in his final outlap. 33.5 on his Sector 2 time. All yellow. Not really improving. Looks like he's going to park it. Just doing all that stuff. Who else is on a lap time? We're going to look at Antonio Mendoza. Let's see what he can do. Currently P3 with a 37.2. 2/10 away from P1. We're going to see if he can improve his lap time. Got Valkyrie. Apparently one of the faster cars in the top end, if you will. Let's see what he can do right now. Final corner. Stamp on the throttle. Hugging that inside a little bit too much. Looks like he's stopping it too. And I believe that's end of qualifying. So we have Alex Jury on pole. I believe that's his first pole. We got Victor Zelensky, Antonio Mendoza, Jose Flores, and Thomas Dickens for your top 5 going down. We got Nicholas Southavon, Bradley Kennedy, Stefan Itzke, Kyle Welling in P9, and Stefan Richardson. Round out your top 10. And below we have Will Best, Jacob Tuckey, Finn Fates, Jay Richardson, and Nico Perez. That's going to be your 15 cars qualifying for your hypercar class. And I believe if we do mix, there is going to be your GT3 class. We're going to have Alves on pole, Berkfist seconds, Philippe Smoka on third. After that, we're going to have Pavel Trubenkov, James Mason, August Ursloy, Lataro Horodeski, Paul Sassmer, Dennis Boyko, Boatley Enjoyer, Grigoris Katsaris, Shakir Ganov, Mark Barrison, William Stickley, Tim Schaefer, Stas Abukov, and Jack Powell, which would be 17 drivers in your GT3 field. So a little bit of pack, about 30, I can't do quick math right now. 32? I think so. 15 plus 15 is 30. Plus 2, that's 32. As we're going to go up into the race start. Now, predictions right here. It's going to be a tough one. I think that Antonio Mendoza, especially with that car, is going to be your overall race winner. And I believe I'm going to have to go with Bergqvist again. I got to go back with Bergqvist. I can't stop betting on Bergqvist. I think Bergqvist is going to pit Alves on the start. Who knows? There might be some commotions in the start, as it is always with Monza. Turn 1 heroics. Everyone thinks they're gosh dang Senna. Well, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. We got 40 seconds left on it for this hour race. If someone's going to dive bomb someone into turn 1 in an hour race, God help us all. That's all I'm going to have to say. Dark horse pick's going to be Zelensky. As he gets the outside, maybe can break a little bit later than Jury. And for GT3, oh, Smoka. I like Smoka. I was thinking about it. It's like I'm putting in my DraftKings bet. I'm just like, ooh. Should I put it all on red? I don't know.
Formation lap has started.
We're going to see as formation lap has started. Oh, okay. Now it's looking a little bit better. Alex Jury on pole. We're going to stay with him right now. Antonio Mendoza right behind him. On the side is Victor Zelensky and Jose Flores right behind him. As we're going up into the final corner right now, we're going to see what happens in this. Let's see if someone has the cojones to dive bomb into turn 1, which hopefully we don't see, because, you know, it's a goddamn hour race. You don't have to do all that. Just beat them on strategy. I think strategy is going to play a huge part. We're going to see if people, as we go green flag right now into the straight. Looks like Zelensky gets a little bit of good jump right there. Everyone else in the back not having that good jump. Zelensky's going to go side by side with Jury into turn 1. We're going to see what happens in the back. Mendoza trying to make that move in there. Zelensky has to take off the runoff. Jury gets hit by Mendoza. Causing a huge accident. Itsuke gets into Jury right now. What has happened? GT3 seems a lot cleaner, surprisingly. As Zelensky's going to be in your Zelensky P1 right now with Antonio Mendoza and Sutavong right behind them, as we see Thomas Dickens and Jose Flores going back at it. But looks like Thomas Dickens is going to tuck behind him, as we saw someone out there. As they have Antonio Mendoza on the dirt. Oh man, there's a lot going on. It's going to be the two Peugeots racing each other with the same thing as Fayertz goes out, gets touched a little bit, gets a little bit loose. Find that other driver. There's a lot going on right now. Trackside in the GT3 class. We have Alves, Smoka, and Bergqvist. Looks like Smoka and Bergqvist kind of swap positions, and that's pretty much it. Everyone looking fine on the GT3 side. Now, as we go back into our top class, it looks like Suthavong is P1 right now. What happened to Victor Zelensky? He looks like he's going into P10. We're going to have to double check and see what happened afterwards. But right now, after one racing lap, it's Suthavong, Flores, and Thomas Dickens. Suthavong with a commanding lead right now in that American livery, even though he's driving the goddamn Genesis, not an American brand, Faker. Looks like everyone's going back to single file lines in the hypercar class. I have to look what the GT3 class is doing right now. Alves getting hounded by Philippe Smoka. Aston Martin looking good, but no Bergqvist right behind Smoka. Let's see if he's going to try to make that move. You have the aforementioned Mendoza spinning out, trying to get back into the hypercar class. Tony Mendoza P13 right now. Jay Richardson and Finn Fayertz right behind him in class. Richardson, I believe, on pits. I believe that's our first DNF, I believe. We're looking out for close battles right now. Huge conundrum in the backfield with that LMP car trying to get back in the front. Sasbury, as he spins, talking about that. You see what happens there. It's like they're going side by side. Mark Garrison just, didn't even see no Bukov right by him. Kind of push him out of the way. I don't know what that's all about. We're going to see Mark Garrison against Boatley making that move on the inside, touch it a little bit on the back end. Bonejo again a little bit too squirrely on the end. Loses that to two positions right there. As we're going to have like Tim Schaefer going side by side with Katsaras. Going to make it 3 wide maybe. With Shakiryanov into the final corner. Let's see what happens. All blue team. Shakiryanov looks like he's going to get the best, but let's see if that cut's going to go good for Katsaras. As you see someone spin out, but no, this battle's a lot more important. We're going to see Katsaras. Maybe he can get the drive on that exit. Don't know that Ferrari's going to have a better top line speed. Then that McLaren looks like he's falling back in. We'll see what happens right here. If Katsaras is going to make another move down on the inside into turn 1. Nope, looks like he's just going to follow suit. What? First lap, we've seen a lot of people screw up. As talking, we just saw a Ford on the side right there. I believe that was Safmary. I thought that was a Ford. No, it was a Porsche. I guess a Ford as well because 106 is back here. A lot of fighting in the GT3 class. Within the 5 minutes. Calm down, guys. Our race. That's all I'm saying. Sutherland still leading up top in that Genesis. Jose Flores, Bradley Kennedy following behind. Pretty good gap between Flores and Kennedy, about 3 seconds. As I don't know why it's not showing the gaps. There we go. My bad, fellas. See if Jose Flores can drive down that gap between him and Sutherland. See if we're going to have another battle with Kyle Welling super close behind Victor Zelensky. Zelensky looks like he's trying to claw back up from P10, which is the lowest I believe from him, after leading it after the first corner of the first lap. Kyle Welling in P8. Alex Drury spinning. Actually, that's Will Best spinning. I thought I clicked on Alex Drury, but no, that's Will Best just spinning, just holding it in there. Looks like he is gone. What happened to him? Looks like he's gone, but sure. Nico Perez in the van wall. I didn't even realize that. They brought back the van wall for this race. Not the best move because currently he's P11, last of the current owners. Actually, I changed that back. That's Dickens and Best. But right now, let's see what other battles we have right now. I believe we have Ursula and Boyko fighting against each other. Porsche versus Lexus. Who is the better fancy brand? Everyone knows which one that is. Right now, our closest battle, Iron Dames versus Cardis ASB team. Falling very closely into that very technical penultimate corner. We're going to see if Boyko is trying to make a move into that final corner. Let's see where he's going to go. He has a little bit of a run. Doubt he's going to dive bomb this early. No, just following right now at the moment. Boyko preemptively covering up that inside. See if Urso is going to get that run on that top end. It's a lot of drive on that final exit. You see Urso really wants that inside line. Boyko, a little bit of squeezing right there. squeezing side by side into turn one. We're going to see who has better brakes, who's braver. And the other driver looks like they're equal. We're still using that. And they're, oh man. Goodbye Ursula, couldn't, a little bit of that corner, trying to make that move stick. Trying to still go side by side with Boyko. And that's your P4. Let's see if they're going to catch up to your top of the GT3 class. Looks like Alves has a little bit of gap between him and Smoka, but they're still running within sights from each other. Alves, Smoka, and Berkquist. We're going to see if Smoka can do something about it. As we head with Victor Zelensky and Seven Itzke, we're going to see who's going to have the better brakes, who's braver on the brakes. Looks like Itzke is just going to let it go. Zelensky out-braking himself, have to take that run off. Going to give that position back to Itzke, I believe, as they're still fine. I think we've seen that twice with Zelensky, so maybe he just has to change his braking markers or something. We're going to have to see. Okay, getting that position back, but let's see Zelensky, our P2 guy in qualifying. Let's see if he can take it back. Trying to look up that inside into Lesmo 1. I believe that's called Lesmo 1. What is this called? Lesmo 2? I don't know. I don't know my corner names, especially on the European track. A little bit too hard. Kyle Welling get into this fight. Let's see what Kyle can do. Kyle Welling. What is he thinking about? Does he make a move with Zelensky, or does he follow Zelensky and overtake an Itzke and try to overtake Itzke as well, make it a kind of using Zelensky as buffer, if you will. Welling falling back a little bit. Zelensky side by side with Itzke. Look at that top end speed by that Glick. Braking later. That Cadillac on the inside. Let's see if he's going to get that run. No, Zelensky covered up that line very smoothly. Zelensky's going back, going into P5 right now. I believe we're going to have something with Jury and Kyle Welling. Let's see. Kyle Welling blocking aggressively. Jury on the outside. He's on your outside. Hold your line. Touches a little bit. Jury getting that run. Does Kyle Welling have that run, actually? Kyle Welling, no. Sliding right behind of Alex Jury. We're going to see if this battle continues into the second chicane, if you will. Let's see if Kyle Welling has that run. Looks like Jury preemptively blocking that inside. Welling does not have that run. And that's P7 for Alex Jury right now. Still a bit close, him and Itzke. We got a three-man battle. We're going to see if Alex Jury's going to say something about it. Super close. Let's see if he tries to make a move into the penultimate corner. It looks like he's looking, and he's trying to go on the inside right now. Returns into the outside. They both get on the dirt a little bit. It's getting way on the dirt, and that's going to give Kyle Welling a little bit more. But no, Zelensky into the dirt as well. Gives Jury like two positions right there. Mendoza coming back with Itzke all the way from the back. You realize that around the outside he goes. Can he make that corner stick? Kyle Welling a little bit on the outside as well. See if he gets a good run against Itzke. A lot of battling in the mid, for the mid positions, if you will. This is all for P5, I believe. Let's see if Itzke's going to make that move against Mendoza on the inside. See what happens here. Clips a curb right there. Kyle Welling had to brake a lot harder, trying to avoid that accident. Doesn't make that move though for Itzke against Mendoza. See if Itzke is going to have more chance against Mendoza. Oh, and he locks up, goes right behind Mendoza, spins out. That's Itzke. Okay, we're driving in the back of Mendoza, sadly. back a little bit closer now for Jose Flores driving down that gap with GT3. Hordesky and Boyko trying to make a battle. Boyko not realizing there's an LMP car right on the inside. Now we're going to have to see, does that make it stick? No, it looks like the Corvette's going to have the better run. But no, we have traffic right now for our top hypercar drivers. We're going to see how it plays out with Southavong and Flores. Let's see if Flores can use that traffic to close the gap against Southavong. Or Southavong can use those traffic to block Jose Flores from overtaking. We're going to have to see. Very close for our P1 and P2 drivers. As we're coming up, I believe, into Bergqvist, Smoka, and Alves. I believe that's going to be the final traffic cars to overtake. Jose Flores getting real close right now. Going on the inside, but no braking, just a little bit. Didn't want to make that move right now. He's going to bide his time. Bergqvist, as we see on our screen, super close. Southavong gets out of it. Smoke as well, and Alves. You can see what happens. I believe he catches up to Alves into this corner, into the penultimate corner, blocking Flores. Southavong trying to make that corner, locks up on the inside, but no, masterfully played by Southavong right there, blocking Jose Flores. That's a second gap now. It's a 1 second gap between him and Jose Flores. So it looks like Southavong better at traffic management than Flores at this time being. So Antonio Mendoza, Obuhov, Zelensky, Kyle Welling as well. I want to see that battle with Obuhov right here with Jack Powell and Shakirinov. Shakirinov trying to go on the inside of Jack Powell. Let's see if he can make that run. Doesn't look like so. But how about that draft? We're going to see if Jack Powell and Shakirinov can get that. See if they're going to try to make a move into turn one. Try to make it 3 wide, but no, Shakirinov gets pushed out. Jack Powell overshooting the corner. Jack Powell overshooting the corner. Have to give up that position back to Obuhov and Shakirinov. Actually, seems like he's in there. Boyko, for some reason, driving on the dirt. Not sure what happened there, but we also have a battle with Zelensky and Mendoza. Our two faster drivers battling it out for P6. Touching a little bit on the outside. Mendoza getting that elbows out. And inside again. Let's see what Zelensky has to say. On the outside, Zelensky making a proper fucking move against Mendoza, keeping it on the outside. Let's see if Mendoza's going to have something to say on to the penultimate corners. The traffic in there as well. Compromise the line. Grab that corner. See someone in the dirt real quick, and I believe that's August Ursoy onto that dirt. Well, we're going to stick into cam between Zelensky and Mendoza. We're going to see if that Aston Martin has the top line speed into that final corner. Let's see if he's going to try to make a move right here. If not, turn one maybe. In line with Zelensky, trying to prioritize that exit so you get that top line, a better exit. They're going to have some traffic coming up, so this might play into Zelensky's hand. Looks like they're a little bit equal on top speed. No, actually, no. Mendoza trying to go on the outside right now, right behind the GT3 car, and that just blocks him from making that outside move. Helping out. Oh, Zelensky's getting a little bit squirrely on the exit. Mendoza's still right there. More traffic now on the outside of Felipe Smoka. Mendoza, where does he go? Is he going to look for the inside or outside? Looks like he's trying to go for the outside. Brakes a little bit later. A little brake dust right there. Overshoots the corner. As I believe that's going to compromise this corner as well. Mendoza right behind Zelensky as well. Zelensky getting a little bit squirrely. Zelensky having trouble controlling that car. All the power of the Glick. Still sad, still close by. Mendoza Mendoza, let's see if he's going to try to make a move on that penultimate corner. Super close right now. Looking up into the inside. Let's see if you can make this stick. Breaks evenly into that corner. Jumps it. Zelensky touches a little bit. That mid corner. But no, Zelensky keeps that position right now. Good play by Zelensky, and we see Kyle Willen getting on the dirt. Mendoza, where does he go this time? On the inside, looks like. See if Zelensky can make that cut. Oh, yeah. Zelensky making that over-under into it, but that's going to compromise his top end speed. Let's see if Mendoza has something to say about that in that draft. We're going to see Mendoza one more time. On the inside, no, it looks like he's going to hang back Zelensky. Find like a dang lion in the first 20 minutes of this race for P6. For P6, man. It looks like Zelensky has put in a little bit of gap against Antonio Mendoza. Suthavong still up front against Jose Flores. Jose Flores driving down that gap a little bit. But after that squabble with the, I believe, lap traffic, Bradley Kennedy in P3 right now. So I believe we're having a battle right now with Stefan Richardson and Brewery. Genesis versus, what is that? I can't read that far. Isada Freschini. Genesis versus Isada Freschini. Never thought I'd say that. But anyways, looks like Alex, you're going to get the better of him. So Genesis very strong in this track right now. So I believe we have another battle right here with Mendoza going back at it again with Zelensky on the inside of the final corner. Touching a little bit. Let's see if Zelensky's going to have that run. Using all that track. Trying to get more of that top end. And it's just a drag race right now between the Aston Martin and the Glickenhaus. Who's going to have the later brakes? See into this corner. Looks like Zelensky has the later brakes. Touches a little bit. Those clips that curve. And Zelensky gets out on top. It's 2-0 right now with Zelensky. As we saw, Kyle Willing on the back, I believe, just spinning out. Or it could have been Jacob Tucky. We don't know, but I did see a red card going out. As we have a slot battle between Itzke and Jacob Tucky. And the 210s separated for P9. See right now, Jacob Tucky just hounding Itzke. Itzke falling off the positions. Not sure what's happening in that Cadillac, but we're going to see what happens right here. So it looks like he put a gap on Itzke, gets better exit on the Lesmo corners. As we're going to go back to that battle between Zelensky and Mendoza. It seems like it's ended before I even got to say anything. Mendoza overtaking Zelensky for P6. Not sure what happened. It could have been in that final penultimate corner. That doesn't make any sense. No, the penultimate corner. But right now, Antonio Mendoza gets better of Zelensky. Back up into P6. Stefan Richardson is next on Mendoza's side. Let's see, Zelensky braking really hard. What? All the way from the back? What? Or it could have been Mendoza braking a lot earlier, but Jesus. I didn't expect all that from Zelensky. From the middle of nowhere, outbraking Mendoza in a turn one. That's surprising. Maybe they in a call and just saying like, hey, I made that move, my bad. Take that position back. But nope, it's Zelensky in P6. I am thoroughly confused what happened over there. Could have been a gentleman's agreement from them. As on the battle right now with both Ian Jordan and Shakir now. Let's see if that Lexus has Good top end. Getting a little bit closer to Shakirov and that McLaren going on the inside of this corner, the first corner. See who has the better brakes right now. Still side by side. Shakirov closing that door very aggressively against Bowley's door. We have to keep on going back to this battle because now it's a three-man battle. It's Stefan Richardson for P5. Now we have Zelensky and Mendoza going at it again. Let's see if Mendoza is going to try to make that move stick. On the inside for Mendoza. Nope, just looking. Staying still right now. Mendoza getting so close to Zelensky on the back end. Stefan Richardson pleading that they battle so that they lose time against him. But Jesus, Richardson, you might be involved in this battle. Let's see what happens right here. Mythic Racing, Glickenhaus, and Aston Martin. Those are trying to make a move right here after Zelensky has a bad exit on the inside in Lesmo 1. But no, they got traffic right now. Let's see if Zelensky's going to do something about it. Pushes him as he gets way too squirrely and spins out. Zelensky losing all that time. It was a good effort by Zelensky. He just didn't realize that he had traffic in front of him. As Mendoza having a little bit of gap between him and Stefan Richardson. So I believe our battle for P1 is here right now. We're going to see if Jose Flores is going to try to make a move on the inside. Suzvan blocking a little bit, squeezing him. Flores up better on the brakes. Keeps on track. Suzvan trying to make that cut. Doesn't. Gets a little bit squirrely on the exit. And that's Jose Flores overtaken our race leader, Suzvan. Which he becomes down. As they deal with lap traffic again. Let's see if Suzvan has something to say about this. No, just slide in behind him. Let's see if the following corners would be better for him. Jose Flores getting that back, that GT3 car right between them, if you will. Suzvan losing that time. Now it's a second gap between him and Suzvan. We're going to see if he can make that back. Right now it's Stefan Richardson and Antonio Mendoza. Mendoza making it look easy against Stefan Richardson. As he just goes right by him. Getting that GT3 on that apex. Stefan Richardson touches Garrison a little bit. Getting that gap, making that move done. Now that's P5 for Antonio Mendoza. As we look for our next battle. Buchov really close now to Boyko. Let's see what happens here. Just following suit, but that's our closest battle. Buchov making a lot of time on Boyko. Boyko touches the grass a little bit, or dirt. Buchov right, super close right now, trying to go on the outside on that long right-hander. Let's see what happens here if he's going to make it stick on the inside into that second chicane. Who has the better brakes? Looks like they're even. Clips the curb. Touches a little bit, but no, that's Obukhov getting the better on that exit with Boyko. Boyko trying to go back into it. I thought he was going to make a dive bomb, but no. Saved it right there as Bradley Kennedy in that very pastel shaded Ferrari. It hurts my eyes looking at it. I don't know. It's very bright. It's like it's very bright. Hurts my eyes. You know, as that side traffic and Obukhov making that move against Boyko for P5. go back into our top. Looks like Jose Flores already lapping some hypercars right now. That's Thomas Dickens and Nico Perez fighting it out. The Van Wall versus the Porsche. It's like Thomas Dickens get ahead of him. I think Nico Perez is like, I don't know, a lap down, I believe. No, he's not a lap down yet. But we're going to see that with Jose Flores getting on him. Making it look easy against Van Wall. That's just bullying right there. That is just bullying. Alves still in our P1 position for GT3 cars as he's getting lapped by a bunch of other drivers. Sutherland losing out so much time against, as it goes on the outside, risky move by that hypercar, trying to make that overtake on the outside. No, it's still Alves going at it. 2 seconds now between Sutherland and Jose Flores. Bradley Kennedy in no man's land. That very bright Ferrari that has ever so hurt my eyes. I need these eyes, man. Anyways, still in P3 in no man's land. I'm just driving right now, doing some hot laps. We could say the same thing for Alex Drury, but 2 seconds behind him is Antonio Mendoza. So we're going to see if that's going to transpire into a battle right now. Alex Drury 13 seconds away from our P3 guy. As we have Stephen Richardson in P6 right now, balancing traffic. Still within eye reach of Mendoza, or eyesight of Mendoza. So he has something to look forward to. And we have Kyle Welling, Stefan Itzke, Victor Zelensky all the way down back into P9 after spinning out Thomas Dickens and Nico Perez. And our top 11, I believe those are our current drivers. Should get back into the... Actually, I believe we have a Stefan Itzke and Zelensky fight. Let's see what Zelensky can do right here. Braking super deep right now. Getting side by side with Itzke on the inside. Clips that curve. Touches a little bit. Almost gets sideways. Zelensky still trying to keep on the outside. Let's see if he can make that move. But no, you have lap traffic. Itzke blocking to avoid it. Nose to tail. It's like we're drafting in NASCAR. He goes on the outside for this corner. We're going to see if Zelensky can make it stick. Itzke braking way later, getting into the... I want to say AstroTurf, but no. That's just outside the track. Zelensky trying to make it on the inside. Oh, side by side. So getting that run. Itzke losing all that speed on the outside, giving Zelensky the position. But no, Itzke's going to try to come back onto the outside for this corner. We're going to see what happens. They got live traffic in front of them. See how this transpires out. Get out of there, Boyko! Let's keep on the inside, but no, they're still side by side into this corner. Zelensky's shoving, and he spins out. He loses control again in that same corner. Cannot believe it for Zelensky. Zelensky qualifying so high right now. So high in the qualifying session, but no. He's down in a P9. As Itzke gets that P8 position for the race. About 27 minutes left into this race. We're going to have to look at our virtual energy for our drivers. It seems like we may have some fuel for... Yeah, I think they're going to finish this race. No stopping. I'm not too sure about the GT3 cars. I don't know if they're more fuel efficient or not, but we're going to have to wait and see if there's going to be some good signals in this race. Buhov right now challenging for that final podium position in GT3 class against August Ursula. We're going to see if that Mustang has better top end speed. Against Ursula. Looks like Ursula is hanging on just for a minute, 4/10 between them. If my delta is correct. Looks like Ursoy has a little bit of gap between him and Buhov. I'm going to try to find another battle. Jose Flores still our P1 guy. Still our race leader. Soothvong right there. Soothvong still within eyesight of Jose Flores. And I believe, was that Bradley Kennedy right in the back? No, that was not Bradley Kennedy. That was a Porsche. Soothvong, P2 right now. After leading for quite some time in the early parts of the races. Lost it against Jose Flores. Is that Uma Musume in the car? Oh man. Is that Obey Your Master? Oh man. What's happening here, guys? Anyways. Jose Flores still our leader. Speaking of leader, is Mateus Alves, our leader for GT3, making a huge gap between him and Horodecki. What happened to Philippe Smoka? Down into P7 now. We have Horodecki in a P2 in that Corvette. What has happened to Philippe Smoka? Not sure what happened. We're going to have to wait and see after it. But now it's Horodecki and Ursoy in our final podium positions. What happened to Jonas Bergqvist as he retired? I don't know what happened to Bergqvist. He was my dude. All my top picks are going out. I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. We have Philippe Smoka in P7 right now. Huge gaps between all of them in the hypercar. As we have a bat. Oh man, that's some slop. That's some slop right there. As you see Buhov getting ahead of Shakirinov. Getting to the dirt. Gosh dang, dirt racing right here. Excuse me. As Buhov gets ahead of Shakirinov, let's see if Shakirinov can get that position back. Still close by with Buhov. But yeah, I'm concerned on what happened to Bergqvist and Smoka. Maybe they got into each other and they crashed. Who knows? As we're looking to the battle between Jury and Mendoza. Mendoza closing that gap against Jury, I believe, for that P4 position. We're going to see what happens here. Nico Perez, the lap car. See, a little bit close, but not enough to make a move. But now with 23 minutes left to go in the race, doesn't look like they're going to make a pit stop anytime soon, but they're going to have to save fuel at the end, I believe. Oh, and as Mendoza just gets caught by Nico Perez. Can't do anything about that, huh? That sucks for Mendoza. That's a second gap between him and Alex Jury. As I am trying to find who else to follow right now. It looks like Shakirinov is getting into the back of Buhov. We can see if that move's gonna make. He's gonna get that move done into that final corner, I believe. Super close right now to a Buhov. Right, go on the outside of Buhov, covering up that inside. Let's see who is better on the brakes, but that's gonna compromise your start-finish straight top end, if you will. Shakirinov still close by Buhov. Let's see if he's going to try to make a move into turn one. Where does he want to go? He's going to go inside or outside. Pick Shakirinov. Looks like he's going inside. Buhov running down. As we have Jose Flores, a LMP car, trying to make it on the inside. Jesus. Risky moves by Flores right now, as you can see. Buhov covering up that position, making it look easy. That's a little bit of scare for me. That's a ballsy move by Jose Flores as we have our P2 guy, Nicholas Southavon, going around the outside front. That puts a little bit of gap between Abuhov and Shakirinov. Oh man. About 20 minutes left in the race. Give me a second, guys. I gotta take a sip of my coffee. I believe our closest battle right now is between Shakirinov and Abuhov. Still a little gap between them. Gap's wide enough that he cannot make any smart moves. Any dive bombs, if you will, unless you're brave enough and kill the guy. But right now we still have Jose Flores as our top position. Nicholas Southavon in P2, Bradley Kennedy in P3. Alex Drury, Tony Mendoza, rounding out your top 5 right there. And for our GT3 class, it's the Alves show. Fastest driver at this moment in the GT3. Then we have Lataro Horodeski in P2 and August Ursoy in the P3. Fleet spoke all the way down into P7 with Denis Boyko, Stas Abuhov, and Ilder Shakirinov right in front of him. As I believe Katsura is a lap car. He's going to have give him the right of way into that blue Ferrari. I like blue on Ferraris. I think it looks a little bit better than the red. Kasumi. Anyways, as we go back to the battle between Antonio Mendoza and Alex Jury, looks like Jury keeping Mendoza at bay for the moment. Mendoza, shocking start by him. Getting taken out that early. He's trying to make that recovery drive back into P4. As they're going to have lap traffic coming up. We're going to see if that plays into this battle. Those are a lot closer now to Drury. Let's see what happens here. You have the battle between Abuhov and Shakirinov once again. We're going to see what happens here. Shakirinov trying to make that over-under. But no, Mendoza's right there. You cannot turn into that car. Abuhov keeping that position. That loses time. Mendoza loses time going against those lap traffic. About 7/10 away from Alex Drury. Okay, something weird for my score bug right there. It looked like Bradley Kennedy was out, but no, he could be out. What happened to? Oh, I think he's just lagging right there. The tele-sponsored Ferrari lagging out, but no, he's still in P3 at the moment. Super close right now to Southavon, or at least he's within eye shot of Southavon. Don't know what happened to Southavon, but now he's 15 seconds away from Jose Flores, 16 seconds. Not sure if he's going to make that time up within the final 17 minutes of this race. Jose Flores, all he got to do is just drive, do some quality laps and get out of trouble. Nurse those tires home, fuel save if you need to. And we'll have the win in our 60 minutes of Monza, round 6, LSR LMU challenge. I was trying to think of another acronym I can put in there. Looks like he's getting lapped by Sutherland. As Jury getting overtaken by Mendoza, we completely missed that. Looks like Mendoza made that move stick. Mendoza up into P4 right now. For that. That battle's still going on. Let's see if Jury has something to say about it. Genesis seems like it's a top car in this track right now. Just gonna see if Jury has that pace to catch back to Antonio Mendoza. 6 tenths between them. Coming up to 15 minutes left into the race. Looking at everyone else, who has the best time right now? Fastest lap goes to Jose Flores of 37.5, and for the GT3s, that is Jonas Bergqvist, surprisingly with a 50.4. But again, he's out. He's in the pits. He retired. Alves is our current GT3 leader. As someone make a pit? Soothvong's making a pit. Oh, these people are pitting. Oh, I didn't even realize. But no, Soothvong into the pits as well as other GT3 cars. We're going to see what happens. Alva's getting down in the pits right now. Ursoy, I believe, into the pits as well. But who stayed out? Doesn't look like anyone stayed out. It could have been Boyko. No, he's in the pits as well. But no, it looks like they're making their pit stops right now. Always Ursoy, I believe, ahead of Horodeski. Oh, all my stuff is just like glitching out right now. But we're going to see what happens out here. Flute Smoke is still staying out. We're going to see if he has enough energy for all that stuff. Looks like he does. So Flute Smoke back into P2, but 9 seconds away from Mateus Alves. We're going to see how it happens there. And for our hypercars, Soothvong, and I believe it was Mendoza that came into the pits. Kyle Welling, Stephen Richardson. I don't believe they came into the pits. Jose Flores going into the pits right now. We're going to see Bradley Kennedy is also going to go in. Because Bradley Kennedy, yep, 4%. He's going to have to come in. As he's hugging that inside. Yep, looks like he's coming in. We're going to have to see if Jury, they all have to come in. So it looks like Richardson, Welling are our last pitters. And I believe Nico Perez is going to have to pit in soon enough with 15% left. But right now, Mateus Alves still P1 for the time being. Jose Flores is getting out of the pits, covering up all the drivers close to him. Bradley Kennedy coming out. See if he's gonna overtake Soothvong. It seems like he is. Soothvong losing a lot on that pit stop. Bradley Kennedy taking that P2. Soothvong losing way too much. What? He's not even in the final corner. We're gonna see what happens to Soothvong, where he pops out of, because I believe everyone else on top of him is into the pits. It's like he's gonna lose that to Jury and Mendoza, surprisingly. Down into P5 after a real good qualifying session by Soothvong. A real good battle for P1. All the way down in P5 with 12 minutes left into the race. I put another Zen in my mouth. Upper decky. Jose Flores has a 16-second gap now between him and Kennedy. After pit stops, our positions look like this. We have Jose Flores as P1, Bradley Kennedy in P2, Antonio Mendoza rounding out that podium position. Then we got Drury, Sutherland, Richardson, Welling, Itsuke, Perez, and Dickin for our top 10 in the hypercar class. And for our GT3 class, we have, of course, Teres Alves in our P1, Philippe Smoka coming back from P7 into P2, and then Horodesky rounding out our podium position for GT3s. Then we got Ursoy, Boyko, Buchov, Shakirinov, Boatley Enjoyer, Jack Powell, and Mark Garrison for our top 10. Looks like everyone has steadied down. There's no close gaps, I believe, between them, except for Kyle Welling and Stephen Richardson. Kyle Welling making that move stick from the penultimate corner against Stephen Richardson for P6, one of the higher positions that we've seen Kyle Welling in this season. Let's see what happens now between him and Richardson, but looks like he put a gap on Richardson. Good on you, boy, Kyle. As I am trying to find another gap, or maybe another car to talk about. We can talk about Sutherland a little bit. Sutherland, I haven't seen him qualify that high, but surprising, especially in that Genesis. I believe he was in the Aston Martin, surprisingly, for the first test race, I believe, but no, switched to the Genesis when it came out. Made a Uwe Musume livery. Okay. No, actually, I believe he was in a GT3 car because I remember that he had another Uwe Musume livery. Was that a Super GT team, Pacific Racing or something like that? They actually made one in GT300 in the Super GT racing series, if you will. But anyways, currently stuck in P5 between no man's land, 18 seconds behind Drury and 15 seconds away from Kyle Welling. So it looks like he's going to hold position with 10 minutes left in the race. There we go. Let's talk about Bradley Kennedy into P2. Surprise, surprise. Never would have seen this coming. But Bradley Kennedy, one of our better drivers. I believe he switched from the Porsche into the Ferrari, at least for this race. The New Balance, General Electrics, and the telesponsor. I mean, okay. I don't think I ever seen that combo in the DHL, obviously. Never seen those combos on a car before, but who knows? As Tony Mendoza chasing right behind him, still within eyesight of Bradley Kennedy, but got a little bit too far. We're going to see if he can race it down within 8 minutes. Mendoza falling back. Garrison, I don't know what he was trying to do. It looked like he was trying to make a move on a hypercar. That really didn't make any sense, but alright. Maybe just outbroke himself. I'm back now on Teres Alves. Pretty much leading the whole race, even after pit stop. Even when he took a pit stop. No, still leading the race. I believe they're in the same team as Jose Flores because they have similar looking liveries in Nebula. But this one's called Test Lineup 15. I don't know, but sure. That sounds ridiculous. Just sliding right behind Alves. Doesn't want to make a stupid move right now with 7 minutes left into the race. Racing laps left. I believe Itsuke already lapped Dickens, so he doesn't have to make that move if he wanted to. Itsuke with a pretty sizable gap between him and Nico Perez, but he still has Stephen Richardson to look after for. Speaking of that, looks like Kyle Welling has put a good gap between him and Richardson. Looks like Kyle Welling is going to secure that P6 if he doesn't crash a car or anything. Very easy into turn one from Kyle Welling. As trying to find more battles to go after, but it looks like everyone has calmed down in the field. about like 5-second gap between everyone else. Back into the top spot for Jose Flores. Making some lap traffic. Going against Boyko. Looks like Boyko and Shakirinov are still... Actually, no, that was not Shakirinov. That's a lap traffic in Kotsaris. So his position is not going to be affected too much. Boyko, 6 seconds away from Ursula, and there's 6 seconds between him and Shakirinov. That's for P5 in the GT3 class. You could probably tell that I have nothing else to talk about because everyone's just calmed down. Everyone's so hyped up in the first couple of minutes of the race, but no, this time ain't nothing to say. Everyone's just calming down, realizing that they have to take their cars home, or get it to home, if you will. Cross that finish line in one piece, as they say. Except for Richardson and that very colorful Genesis. Actually, that's not a Genesis. That is a Isada. I don't. I can't tell what it is, but it's a very colorful car. That 999. I believe that's Isada. Excuse me, I'm. Very close right now to Kyle Rowland, about a second gap between them. Kyle Rowland losing a bit of time, maybe he went too relaxed into these laps, trying to baby the car. We're going to see if Sutton Richardson is going to come back, try to make it interesting in the final minutes of the race. 4 minutes left to go. About, I want to say 2 or 3 more laps of racing. Let's see what happens here. Coming back from, because I didn't do the 2.4 hours of Le Mans for this race, but coming back, it seems surprising that we had that qualifying session all mixed up because we saw Sutherland and Zelensky coming up in there for your P1, P2 with Mendoza, and I believe it was the other driver of, he's not popping up in my thing. Mendoza and Jose Flores going down to P3, P5, I think. That was very surprising. Maybe it's just a different track for all of these. I don't know if that's the same thing that happened with the 2.4 hours of Le Mans. But it's good to be back. 3 minutes left into the race. Calvin dealing with traffic right now. Putting that Ferrari right between him and Richardson. Richardson clearing that Ferrari real quick. Below a second gap right now, 7 tenths between them. We're going to see if Richardson is going to catch up to Kyle Wellen. Go into our order again. We still have Jose Flores leading in P1, Bradley Kennedy in P2, and Antonio Mendoza in P3 for the Hypercar class. Then we got Mateus Alves, P1, Fluke Smoka, and Horodeski for the pole position right now. 2 minutes left. I believe that's one more racing lap. 1 or 2-ish. I don't know how much these people are babying their cars, but it looks like Stephen Richardson has a little bit of opportunity right now with Kyle Welling. Super close right now. Kyle Welling struggling with that, with Jack Powell and that Mercedes. We're going to see if he can make a move. Kyle Welling clearing that Mercedes. Same with Richardson, but didn't seem like he made any moves on it, or he took that opportunity, if you will. He didn't. Still a 7/10 gap between him and Kyle Welling. We're gonna see. We're gonna stick on the cam right now until the race ends. See if Richardson try to make any heroic efforts against Kyle Welling. Getting a little bit of better exit than Kyle Welling onto that Lesmo corners. It's hard to say Lesmo. I think my mind just immediately goes into Lesbo, but hey, Kyle Welling again touching a little bit of dirt right now, using all those curbs, compromising his speeds into that back straight. Let's see if Stephen Richardson is going to make a move into that final corner, onto the outside for Stephen Richardson, trying to make that wide line work. Kyle Welling breaking a little bit deeper than Richardson. Is he going to do the cutback on Kyle Welling? Kyle Welling out in the track. Now it's Richardson on the inside line. Looks like he's going to have the better drive than Kyle Welling. Now it's a drag race between him and Kyle. Looks like the Toyota has equal amounts of top end speed than the Isada. See who has the better brakes between them. Kyle Welling braking deeper. Richardson locking up. Looks like Kyle Welling's going to get that position. No, wait. Richardson has something to say about it. And I thought he did, but he may have something to say about it into the next corner. Still very close between him and Kyle Welling as we're going up into the final, I believe it's the final lap. As Stephen Richardson still very close to Kyle Welling. They have one more racing lap to go. At the end of the race, Jose Flores is going to be your championship. No, as your race winner, Bradley Kennedy and Antonio Mendoza for your GT hypercar class. I'm mixing up my words right now. I'm trying to focus on this battle right here. As Kyle Welling flashing the GT2 cars in front of him, which Kirinov and Katsuras, no, they slot in. They realize the hypercars, but no, heartbreak for Richardson. Getting blocked by a lap traffic as they both go wide. Richardson nearly crashing now, keeping that car under control right now. But no, it is Jose Flores as our P1. Bradley Kennedy, P2 right now. Tony Mendoza back in the pits in P3. Good recovery drop from Mendoza. As we have Alves, Smoka, and Hordesky for our P3. What a race ending, actually, for Kyle Welling and Richardson. Kyle Welling beating out Richardson for P6. I believe. I'm sorry we didn't get to see the end of that because we were so invested into that battle between Kyle Welling and Richardson. But as it shows right now, I believe our standings is Jose Flores, Bradley Kennedy, Antonio Mendoza, Jury, Suthavon, Kyle Welling, Richardson, Dickens, and Nico Perez for our top 10 in hypercars. Then we got Alves, Smoka, Hordesky, Ursoy, Boyko, Shakirinov, Boatley Enjoyer, Jack Powell, and Trubenkov, and Garrison, rounding out our top 10. I believe now I'm going to try to find my interviewees. You might hear me clacking away from all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah. Well, 1 second.
Send me the log.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Well, to begin with, honestly, a bit of a chaotic start as it usually is at this track, but it was like I was a bit ambitious, a bit bold at the start, but it paid off. Like I did get overtaken by both Bergquist and Smolka, but I managed to get it back in turn 1, so that was good. And I also just want to say, like, cracking battle at the start with Smolka. But yeah, at some point, hypercars started getting involved. I got the worst of it at the beginning. Smolka caught up a little bit again, but then some other hypercars came in and he lost the toe. And from there, I just could just keep my pace, you know. And I think Smolka pitted early, and so I didn't even know where he was. So I was like just racing against myself, just racing against time, you know.
Well, good evening to everyone first. Second of all, yes, it was down to a fight with Alves. We were on the same pace for the 10 to 15 laps. Well, then what happened? I saw Bergquist magically having so much grip in the Mustang, and then I saw that he is actually half to almost a second faster than both me and Alves. So I decided to let him go. As soon as I let him go, Bergquist just locks up the first turn, then making me lose another second. And then we go into Lesmo 1 and 2, and then his internet dies, so I lose another 2 seconds. And then, of course, when you are with somebody on the same pace, it's just very difficult to get it back. So that's why I always got the gap that he has, and I also tried a different strategy because there is no way I'm getting closer. We were on the same pace, so yeah, good job for him. Yeah, he just said like latency problems, and then he just went straight into the gravel, so that's what happens.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was a pretty good race. I had a good start. Got up to like P4, I think. There was a bit of shenanigans in front. And then I think someone DC'd or something, and then I was suddenly into P3, and I was more than happy to just run by myself in P3. But then I think Sudhivon made a mistake in the pits. He overfueled or something, which cost him like 20 seconds. So that's what got me ahead. Yeah, I think he just overfueled the car. I mean, I guess Flores. He was the quickest guy out there, no doubt, in hypercar. And I don't know. Smolka sounded like he had a pretty good fight back, so yeah, I guess Smolka.
I'm gonna go a bit different here as well for the GT3. Just say one of my teammates, Dennis, because he did really well. He was struggling with practicing, and then I was just giving some pointers to him earlier today, and he recovered a lot of pace. I think he finished P5, and like he's just improving a lot. But about the hypercars, I have no idea.
Nico?
All right, so thank you everyone for joining.
Bye.
Our commentator is having issues. Thank you for being here, and if anyone else wants to say something else, I'm not the commentator. I don't know how to do this.
See you next time, freaks.
Yeah, in a sense. Let's see how it goes.